Hello, my name is Nicholl, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I am talking about on breaking up with an abuser. For some of you all, you may be aware that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so you will see a lot more information around the internet as well as off the internet about domestic violence, as well as dating violence and other forms of abuse. Now, one of the things that some people do not pay close attention to when it comes to abusers is the side that shows just how, let's just say, demonic they can be. There is something about an individual that is very disturbing, but what one does is he or she dismisses it as, well, he's just having a bad day. She is just under the weather right now. He'll snap out of it. You just talk yourself out of what you know is disturbing, uncomfortable, dark, demonic about the individual. Okay? And if the person is attractive and charming and sweet and nice, sometimes that person who's the abusive one is getting away with a whole lot just because they look a certain way, because they have so much money, and they have a number of character traits that you really like. But abuse is abuse. And so today I'm going to read out of Socially Sweet, Privately Cruel, Abusive Men by Nicholl McGuire. It is available as a download and soon available as a printed book. There will be links in the description box, so by all means you can get your copy there. So how do you know that once you break up with someone who has been abusive to you, that if you should go back, it will be more of the same? How do you know? A lot of times abusers will say things like, it won't happen again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it, but you made me. Please forgive me. You're a believer. You trust in the Lord. So why don't you trust that He's going to change me? Some will use scriptures. Others will use money. Some will use opportunity and whatever else they can come up with to try to get you to stay around, to be there for them, to continue to give them. But some individuals get tired of the false promises. They realize that they don't want to continue to go through the emotional and or physical abuse any longer, and so they make every effort to break up. Statistics say that it takes 7 times of going back and forth with an abusive person before finally the victim breaks free. Okay? A lot of times the victims convince themselves that it's going to get better. Sometimes they feel guilty because they know that they did some things that wasn't right. And so, no, this isn't that serious to get the police involved. And, well, I'm guilty and I'm not about to go to jail and whatever else they come up with. This is my children's father. I love him. And so the cycle of abuse continues until eventually the victim says, I don't want to be a part of this any longer. So he or she breaks up, and you think that everything's okay and all right, and they're going to move on with their lives. And now they are contemplating or even spending time with the abuser all over again after the major fallout, after the fight, after somebody was in the hospital for a little while. They're back together again. Here's how you know that it will be more of the same. Number 1, you find out he has been talking negatively to others about you, and doesn't take any responsibility for what he has done. So there may be some lip service, but there's no action behind that. I'm so sorry. I take full responsibility for it. Let me make this up to you. It's just a lot of talk. Okay. And then you hear through the grapevine that during the breakup, he was having a lot of negative things to say about you to other people. Number 2, when you mention anything about counseling, he adamantly refuses. So there is this upset. There's anger. We don't need any counseling. We can work this thing out. I don't need anybody in my business. This type of thing. Okay. So pretty much just on these 2 points alone, there is going to be more of the same. If you need a prophetic message, I'm going to give it to some of you all right now who's concerned about the future with a partner. It's going to be more drama ahead. Point 3, he continues to lie, cover up, and blame you for the arguments and violent incidents. So you say this happened. He says, no, it didn't. You say you really did it this time when you fill in the blank, whatever it was that he did or she did. No, that's not how I see it. The reason why I did this was because you said this, because you did that. Okay. Don't tell anybody what happened. I told you I'm sorry, and this sort of thing. Okay. So he's not going to say or do anything to make you feel completely at peace about the violent incident, the crazy blow up. So the likelihood that he hasn't changed, well, you're right. He hasn't, or she hasn't. Point 4, he communicates with you, whether over the phone, in person, with veiled threats, anger, insults, and other negative statements. So we're supposed to be getting back together. We're supposed to be reconciling. Our relationship is being worked on. We're doing all these cool things together. But then here we go again. There's the veiled threats. If you ever talk to that guy again, I will do this, that, and the other. Oh, so you want to do that, huh? Oh, okay. I got something for you. What do you mean? There you go again. Didn't I tell you not to wear that? Didn't I tell you not to say that? Why are you over her house again? Why are you always over there? Okay. Do you have to go to the church? Can't you just stay home? What is wrong with you? God can't save you. He didn't save me. I mean, there's a lot of negative stuff that's coming off this person's lips. So it's safe to say that no, he or she hasn't changed. Point 5, he isn't remorseful. Instead, he fakes apologies. Okay? There's the faking that he's sorry. I really wish I could just take back everything I said, everything I did. And then about an hour, 2 hours later, or maybe a week from that very, what appears to be remorseful moment, he's back to his no good, silly stuff again. Point 6, he uses loved ones and children to pass disheartening messages to you or make you feel sorry for him. So the son or the daughter is carrying a message from the father about whatever. And once again, it's a letdown. Or the children are mimicking his behavior even. Okay. He may even have a sob story. And so that lures you back in. Well, maybe we can work this out, and he's having a tough time. He just lost his mother, just lost his dad. I mean, I gotta be there for him. He had an injury. He just lost his job. I don't want to leave him out there like this. Maybe I should help him out. Okay? But then the cussing and the fussing and the attitude and the isolation and whatever else shows back up again. He hasn't changed. Point 7, he doesn't stop his verbal and physical abuse with others. Okay. So maybe he's cool with you right now. He's not cursing. He's not punching walls. He's not acting threatening. But there's some others, though, that's experiencing his wrath. It's safe to say sooner or later, his emotional outbursts are going to come find you again, and he's going to go off. Okay? I share with the readers in my book, Socially Sweet, Privately Cruel, Abusive Men, this, and I'll read it to you. Once I reached the point of no return, I experienced feelings of loss like someone had died. When you plan to be with someone for the rest of your life, but then realize it isn't going to happen, your mind and body will go through a myriad of troubling emotions. Think of when someone passed away in your family and the empty feeling you encountered. Now think of that when it comes to an abusive relationship. Even though the person was mean to you, you miss those times he was good. But you also hurt because you know that the person was like a bad drug. He just wasn't good for you. So you go through this cycle of, I know he's not good. I don't want him. Yes, I do need him. He wasn't that bad. If you keep going on like this, you might want to attend an individual or group therapy session for dealing with abuse. Not a 12-step drug or alcohol program, right? Because that's not what you're going through. But you are going through abuse, whether the person is verbally or physically abusive, or maybe he or she's using silent treatment. Your issue is with a human, not a thing, and the training and challenges you experience will be different. When the abuser and I got back together during those breakups, I felt good at first because I didn't have to go through any grief process. I think my delaying the breakup was my way of avoiding any further pain. It was already an emotional ride dealing with the abuser, and then the issues afterwards seemed to be just more drama I wasn't ready to face. But eventually I got ready in my mind first, and that is key. That is key in breaking up for good. It is getting your mind ready first. I am going to make every effort right now to distance myself, to not allow this individual to have the best part of me. I'm going to start thinking independently, doing things independently, and just getting myself in such a way where I no longer rely on this individual. It makes things so much easier when you have made up in your mind, that's it, I'm done. But what happens is that when you're the victim, not a survivor, mind you, but a victim who keeps going back to one's abuser, you are depending on that person. You are saying to them that it's okay, it's all right to abuse me some more. You are using them for whatever you can get, even if it hurts. So it definitely is a mind change first before it is anything else. Because the problem is that once people get away, if their mind hasn't changed concerning that person, they're going to keep right on back saying and doing whatever with the abuser. We're making plans to travel. We're making plans to go here and there. We're going to buy this together. We're going to do all these wonderful things. But it's a sickness. It is a sickness because you know you want to get away from the person, but yet you continue to be with them anyway, despite the fact that they're being very abusive towards you. Okay? I'm going to continue to read and then close out the message. What motivated me wasn't anyone talking to me. I just couldn't handle those quiet moments anymore at our residence that should have been peaceful. They ended up being nerve-wracking because I kept worrying over something bad happening. Now let me stop right there. If you're in a situation where you're walking on eggshells and you're always concerned that when is the ball going to drop? When is things going to start just going haywire all over again? If you're living in that type of atmosphere, it's going to keep you stressed. It's going to keep you worried. You're going to wonder, okay, when is this person going to be out of pocket again? And am I going to have to do something? And so for me, I got to that place where I said, I am tired of feeling like this. Even when it was peaceful, even if somebody walked right in our atmosphere and said, this is so cozy and nice and wonderful, and I'm still feeling on edge. That is a definite sign you got to get out of it. Some people would say, yeah, that's definitely PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome, because you're just very much on edge. You have a lot of anxiety. You're looking over your shoulder. You're nervous. Okay. When is he going to come in here and start yelling at me? When is he going to come in here and threaten to do something? What's up his sleeve? Okay. He's being real nice today. Oh, maybe he's being real nice for a week, but I'm sure that something is about to go down. That's sad, but it happens in so many different relationships. I was constantly concerned about the things I would say or do that might possibly set him off. I'm sorry, my friends, that is not a relationship. Okay? And some people have this even with their relatives. That's why when they get involved with an abusive man or a woman, it feels comfortable because you were used to feeling that way around your domineering dad or your crazy mother. Okay? So when you get into this relationship, it seems familiar, it seems okay, it seems all right until you do something that you think is small, but to them it's huge. Okay? My stomach often hurt, my hair was falling out, I was not sleeping well, and I was unable to concentrate on any time-consuming tasks. Mind you, I was in college at the time. Now you need a lot of concentration for your studies, right? You don't want the stress. But for me, I had this unnecessary stress that I put upon myself because I met this individual who appeared to be charming, sweet, and nice, and really turned out to be nothing more than a problem for me. So I hope that those of you all who are considering on going back to an abusive person will reconsider. I hope that those of you all who are currently in a relationship with an abusive person, that you will definitely make up in your mind that enough is enough and that this time that you exit will be the last. So that is it. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for just taking the time out to support this channel. Also, if you are interested in the book, Socially Sweet, Privately Cruel, Abusive Men, you can order that. And the links should be in the description box. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time out once again to listen. Blessings to you.